watch a lot of TV, then you probably know my guest already, because even before he became Information and Broadcasting Minister, Ravi Shankar Prasad was a regular on talk shows and on news channels. But what you probably don't know about him is that he's the son of one of the founders of the Jansangh, that he more or less grew up on the laps of Advani and Vajpayee, that before he became a minister, he was a distinguished lawyer, he was Advani's lawyer, and as a lawyer, he's the man who pursued Lalu Yadav through the fodder scam. That's true. Most people don't know that about you, do they?
Thank you. That's all I can say that.
Tell me about your childhood. I didn't realize that until very recently, that your father was one of the original Jansanghis.
You see, my father, late Mr. Thakur Prasad, was a truly self-made man. Born in a simple middle class, Jansangh was formed. He was also picking up into law practice. Those were hard days. But he was a man of great commitment, a truly self-made man. And he really fought his way up.
Okay.
Became an eminent lawyer of Bihar, was the president of Jansangh for 10 years. Therefore, I would say the political context of the Jansangh was quite evident in the family. Therefore, I could get to see some of the eminent leaders even as a childhood.
So did you grow up in this very political household?
Yes, I would say that. But my father was very strict about one thing, that no compromise on studies. You must do well as a student also. But then in college itself, the JP movement came, which drew me in the movement.
But you were apparently also, I read in the research, a very good student, sort of first class first type of guy.
Not first class first, but yes, matric, BA, MA, I'm a first class.
You're a first class. You were apparently a very, very good student.
That yes, just okay, that's all I can say.
No, tell the truth. Were you okay or were you good?
Well, I passed my BA and MA in first class, that's all I can tell you.
You were good.
Matriculation.
So you were a good student.
You can say that.
It's too late to be embarrassed about this. It's all ancient history. Now you can tell the truth. So then what happens? Then the JP movement comes.
JP movement comes while I was almost in the undergraduate itself.
Okay.
Yes, I just done my inter after matriculation. That was a great experience working with JP, truly an outstanding man. And we were in the Students' Union. You'll be surprised to know Mr. Lalu Prasad was the president of the Patna Students' Union. Sushil Modi, the present leader of opposition, was the general secretary, and I was the assistant general secretary.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've known Lalu since then?
Yes. Therefore, at times I called him Adhyakji.
Which is what he was. Was he the same even then?
Yes. There is not much of a change in him, though he has grown in stature. I wish
he still had that same hairstyle?
Yes, he had that.
And the hair around his ears and all of that?
Not that much.
Okay.
He was a much simple person then, that's all I can tell you that.
And he still had this very clever way of playing the buffoon when it suited him, but being very shrewd at the same time?
Well, I will certainly not call him a buffoon.
No, he plays the buffoon. He's far from a buffoon, but he knows when to play that.
He's a very shrewd man. And the kind of public support which he got, I always believed, he had the potential and the opportunity to really change Bihar. That has been completely squandered away. Perhaps development is not a part of his agenda at all.
No, I think power is part of his agenda and he succeeded in that. All right. Now, from all accounts, you rose to be a very successful and highly regarded lawyer in Bihar.
You can call me moderately successful, yes, that's all I can tell you that.
And then you became Advani's lawyer.
Yes, when he was arrested in the Rath Yatra, and then he was detained. So you may know, Veer, that if you are detained, you are entitled for legal access. The Chief Secretary asked him, would like to have any legal counsel. He said, call Ravi Shankar from Patna High Court. Then I went to meet him in Masanjor. And he was very keen that he don't want to be released. He only want to go to vote against VP Singh government when the no confidence comes about. And that's the order we got from him, from the High Court of Patna.
This is now what, 1990 we talk about?
91, I suppose.
90.
90
is when the VP Singh
yeah.
government falls. At this stage, you're not into politics? Are you just a lawyer?
No, I was an activist. RSS background is certainly there. I was in ABVP for close to 10 years in the movement part. Then political activism has started. Public and political activism would always remain a part of my being. Because I very honestly feel, Veer, that Indian democracy is now more than 50 years old. After the disaster of emergency, there shall be no emergency imposed in India. There shall be no military coup in India. India shall be governed by democracy, political parties, political process. Therefore, we need to invest in democracy.
No, that's very high-minded. But for you, when you're planning your career, you've got to decide. You can make a lot of money as a lawyer, or you can go into politics, which is much more uncertain.
No, yes. As far as commitment for public activism is there.
So that was always took precedence?
That was always there. But I was also very keen that I must do professionally very well. And therefore, I was a very hard-working lawyer. and it was a good blend of the two. My clients also knew that when elections are around, Ravi Shankar, you will be busy in the elections.
It's a pretty charmed life, isn't it? You stand for election once, you win, you're what? You were made first Deputy Minister, or you became straight away an MOS?
Minister of State.
You became an MOS within 2 years of Parliament?
1 year to be precise.
Within 1 year.
To be
So
precise.
it's pretty much a charmed life, isn't it?
Let me tell you, Vir, I was my organizational profile has been very long. For 2 terms, I was the All India Vice President of the Youth Wing of the BJP.
Yeah.
I was a member of the National Executive for 6 years. I was a member of the Central Disciplinary Committee of the party.
Yeah, but these are all just party posts. No?
Yes.
If I was to do a book called Ravi Shankar Prasad, The Years of Struggle, it'll be several empty chapters, no?
No, you cannot say that.
Where was the struggle?
I would say that the party decided that I must get the ticket only in 2000. That's all I can tell you that.
But having given you the ticket, they thought so highly of you, they made you minister in virtually no time.
Well, that's the greatness of the Prime Minister. Maybe he noted my performance in the Parliament, or the party noted. That's all I can tell you.
And then they gave you INB, which is a very, very crucial ministry as well.
Vir, I would say I always allow my work to speak for me.
Well, you can't on this program because we've got 2 more segments, so you better speak for yourself. But since you've became INB minister, the record has been mixed, hasn't it? Some successes, some failures, some humiliations.
Well, that is, I leave for you and the people to decide.
Yeah. Well, we will talk about it. That's 2 segments of discussing his successes, failures and humiliations. Don't go away.